Hi, this is Wendy from Knitters Brewing, and I'm going to show you how to make these snowflakes that are on the Snow Dancer socks for our knit-along. Now, the snowflakes can be done either with no beads or with beads, or a combination of both. Maybe you don't want any beads on the foot of your sock, but you do like them on the leg of your sock. That's how I'm making mine. But either way, they're done the same way. I'm going to go ahead and demonstrate you the bead variety. Since it's got that extra step of adding the beads, and then you'll see it all. So on row 7 of our repeat for the snowflake design and the whole leg or foot design, we work our way across, and it's the same way whether you are doing the right leg or the left leg. In row 7, you're going to do a 2/1 right cross, which is these 3 stitches right here, and then you're going to knit 7 more stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Now this puts you 1 stitch to the left of the center of this design. So here's the center of the design right here, and we've just worked the 1 stitch to the left of it. Now we're going to pull a 5-inch loop through the previously worked stitch. So to do that, we're going to take a little crochet hook, or you can use your knitting needle, whatever works for you. I'm using a size 10 steel crochet hook, and we're just going to insert it into the stitch just below the 2nd stitch over on your right needle. So right in here. And then we're going to take the yarn tail, and you're going to pull through a loop. And then we're going to adjust the length of that loop. Let me get it pulled through here first. Don't want to get ahead of myself. Oops. It's hard sometimes with these little crochet hooks. Okay. So we've got this loop. So we're going to pull through a loop that is 5 inches long. Try to get as accurate as you can with that, and don't stretch it while you're doing it. Just kind of let the loop hang naturally. Alright, here I'm just a little bit short. I'm going to pull through just a little more. Okay. It wants to wiggle around. Alright, I'm going to call that good, right there. Now we're going to go ahead and finish knitting the 7th round here, but while you do that, you want to hold this still so it can't slip through and get any bigger or smaller while you're working the next stitches. So actually I'm going to hold it down with my left thumb while I'm wrapping my tail here. So we're going to work, it's another few knit stitches, and once you get the next few done, then that kind of locks that big loop into place. Okay, so we do 4 more knit stitches. And then we're going to do the 2/1 left cross to finish off that row. And then when you're finished with the row, then all you need to do, you can just tug on these a little bit. If it seems like it's gotten loose right up in here at the top where these connect in, just tug on it a little bit. And the same thing, now you're going to go ahead and just work rounds 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. And each time you're going to work across here, and it might pull this up a little loose, but as you get done working past it, just use these to tug it up. And then I will come back when I get to row 13 and show you how you do the bead part. Alright, I've made it around to row 13, so now we're going to play with some beads. So on row 13 we do the 2/1 left cross, which is these 3 stitches right here, and then you knit 3, and that brings us up to being at 1 stitch before this center line right here. And that's where you want to be to do the snowflake part, whether you got beads or not. I'm going to show you with beads. It's obviously the same without beads. So I'm going to show you 2 ways to do it. I'm going to show you using a small crochet hook like this one, And then I'm going to show you using just a piece of wire from a twist tie, which most people have if you don't have a little crochet hook that fits in beads like this. So before you do each of the 6 branches of the snowflake, you need to slip 3 beads onto your yarn. So you're just going to slip them onto the end of the loop of the yarn, right off the crochet hook, and onto the yarn, just like that. Now we're just going to slide it all the way, trying to keep my fingers out of the way here, all the way up to where they're tight up next to the sock like that. Now we are going to take this loop and we're going to start with this that's at about 10 o'clock right here, and we're going to go this way around the circle, and this is going to be the last branch that we do, the one that goes straight up to the top. So to weave that branch in, you're going to see where the yarn comes out. That's the center of your snowflake in that stitch right there. So we're going to count up 3, 1, 2, 3, just count the center of the stitches, and over 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. So this stitch right here, I'll try to pull on it, make it big like that, is where we're going to want the end of the yarn to come through. So you want to go in from the back, or you can go off to the side like this, as long as you come in from the back like this. And then take the yarn, scooch this over, get in the center a little bit more, hook it on there, and pull it through to the back, and you can take the hook out. Okay, and then just we're going to pull it snug a little bit, not too tight. So there is our, let's call it the 10 o'clock snowflake branch. Now we're going to go back through the middle and pull this through again. So you're going to stick the needle in through the front and pull this through. So now we're back at the middle again, and we have our first branch on. Now we're going to do the second one the same way, but this time I'm going to show you how to put the beads on with a wire. So hang on a minute for that. Alright, the value of our knitting tools is in how useful they are, not in the cost, right? So this is just a wire out of a twist tie. I stripped off the paper part and folded it in half as a V. And it's really useful for beading sometimes. So to use the wire, all you do is slip it inside, slip the loop over it like that, and then you can close up the V of the wire a little bit. Now we're going to slip our beads over this end of it. And so we want to put 3 beads on the end of our wire, so you want to slip it over both pieces of it. Oops. Alright, and now just slip them down over the end of the wire and onto the yarn, just like we did with the crochet hook. And you could actually use this like a needle to go through the sock to secure the beads to the sock, just like we did with the crochet hook too. Alright, now to put the second branch on, we are going to count 3 stitches down and 4 stitches over to the left. So we're going in, get this out of the way, this one right here. Alright, and we're going to pull that through. flip it over here. You can see my loop on the back. And just pull that up. Yay, we got 2. Now we're going to pull it back through to the front again here. Okay. Now I'm going to put my beads on, then I'll show you how we're going to put the southbound branch of our snowflake on. Alright, my third set of beads are on now, so now we're going to count down on this center row of knitting. And we're going to count down 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So this is our stitch right here where we are going to attach those beads. So just keep your eye on that as you insert your hook. We're going to pull it through. Grab it from the back. Oops. Okay, just going to scooch these up a little more and pull it back through from the back to the center again. Alright, we're halfway there. I'm not going to show you number 4 and 5 because they're very much like these two. The next one we're going to count over 4 and down 3, and that's where the 4th one's going to go. Then we're going to count over 4 and up 3, and that's where that one's going to go. So when I come back, I'll be ready to do the 6th one that goes straight up, and I'll show you how that connects into the top. Alright, I've got number 4 and number 5 done, and I've just put the beads on the last snowflake, number 6. Now this one, you'll notice your string's getting pretty short by now, and that's good. That's what it's supposed to do. Now this one we're not going to take through the fabric. We're just going to hook it over the top of the right hand needle, like this. Get this out of the way. Alright, and then we're going to knit the next stitch, which is the center stitch in that motif. And then we're going to pass that loop with the beads on it over the center stitch and off the work. Get this out of the way. There, now you can see how it's hooked in there. If you find you've got a little extra slack in this one, then just turn it over, and you can just loosen, you can take up some of the slack by just loosening up some of these on the inside. Start with number 5 and pull it up, and then number 4, and just go around, and you can take up a little slack that way. And same if you came up just a little short, you can get yourself some more slack working that way. And you might find, everybody's knitting's a little different. Maybe 5 inches isn't exactly right for you. You might need just a little more or a little less to have the snowflake the way you want it. But that's how we do it, and they look really nice.